Everything on the Denville and Western Railroad normally runs efficiently and without incident. However, not every railroad is perfect. One day, the coaling tower that refills the coal-burning locomotives broke, so another way had to be found to refuel the engines. This is where Lenard came in. Lenard is a front-end loader owned by a nearby contractor. Coal would be dumped from freight cars at a spot behind the shed. Lenard would then scoop up coal and load it into the tenders. The coal-burning engines appreciated his help because it kept them running. One day, Sapphire was in the yard having trouble moving some foolish freight cars. "Come on, get moving, she snapped. "We don't feel like it. We want to stay here," they chattered. Lenard came over. "Problem, Sapphire?" he asked. "Isn't it obvious? These freight cars won't move. You know, since I've worked here, I've been observing you engines, and I feel like you are exaggerating. All you do is lift and load things," Sapphire retorted. "You have no idea what it's like pulling a train." "I don't," Lenard said confidently, "but if given the chance, it would be easy for me." "Huh, really?" Sapphire replied. "Yes, really," said Lenard. Lenard, a few days later, actually did get his chance. He had just finished loading up Sean when Dave came to see him. "A private individual has purchased a 30-inch gauge caboose off an abandoned line, but there's freight cars blocking it. We need you to go there and move the freight cars in the caboose so they can be loaded onto a truck." "I'll get right on it soon, Dave," he said. Now, he thought to himself, I could show Sapphire how to manage freight cars. Lenard was taken by flatbed truck to the abandoned line. "I think we should move the cars one by one," said one of the workmen. A chain was attached between Lenard's bucket and the first freight car, and he moved it. "See, this is easy." He moved 5 cars and then the caboose, which was placed on a runaround siding. But now they had to move the 5 freight cars back. "Let's push them all back at the same time," Lenard shouted. The workers were a little apprehensive, but figured it would get the job over with quicker. Again, the chain was attached to Lenard's bucket and he began pushing. The freight cars, who hadn't moved in years at that point, thought it'd be a chance to actually have some fun. They surged forward. "Go on! Drag him! Drag him!" they shouted. "Whoa!" shouted Lenard. Lenard had lost complete control of the freight cars. "Jump! Jump!" shouted a worker, and they jumped clear. "Wait!" shouted Lenard. "Please don't leave me!" He was so frightened his voice cracked. Then suddenly the chain between Lenard and the freight cars broke, and they began to pick up more speed. They swerved to the siding and crash! They smacked into the other standing equipment. When the dust settled, Lenard and the workmen came to examine what had happened. "Well," laughed one of the workers, "this line is unused anyway, so no point of even trying to clean this mess up." Lenard sighed. "Well, at least Sapphire won't be able to find out about this." But Lenard was wrong. When he arrived back at the yards, he found Dewan and Sapphire waiting for him. "So," smiled Sapphire, "how'd you like moving freight cars for the first time?" It was easy and very fun. I told you I can handle it." "Really?" questioned Dewan. "From what we heard, your experience was," he took a pause, "smashing," and then him and Sapphire burst out with laughter. Lenard didn't even want to know how they found out. He couldn't respond to them because he knew, deep down, he deserved it.